Hey guys, it's Core Ross, and today we've got a theory video about Rainbow Six Siege. So I love doing these videos, and 1 year ago I put out a video saying that DMS was going to be a playable character in Rainbow Six Siege, and of course this year it ended up happening. And I now believe that we are only just getting started with the bad guy characters. So Season 2 is going to bring us a recruit remaster. This means 2 recruits, one for attack, one for defense, their own very unique gadgets, just as if they were full-on operators, and they're going to be fully customizable just like a normal operator, along with cosmetics as well. But I do not believe they are going to be Team Rainbow recruits. Now, the main foundation behind this idea was an Easter egg in the new layer map that came out last year, and there was a wall in DMS's office that had a bunch of masks. These masks were all in the recruit colors, and they flashed Morse code. This Morse code was actually translated to say, "It all begins with recruit." Now, back then, we did not know there was going to be a remaster of the recruit this year. So it's all starting to come together. We also had, during the reveal of the director of Siege, saying, "It all begins with Demus." Of course, very similar sentence, and makes me think this Easter egg is continuing on to something bigger. And at this point, I was already planning to make this video with just that information only. But we got one more thing, and that was in the Battle Pass. So there is a headgear for Demus in the Battle Pass called 1000 Battle Stare. And it has a quote from Demus, and it says, "I killed Harry, maimed your team, culled your recruits, but still you don't pull the trigger." And of course, I'm going to focus on the culled your recruits part of that quote, because this makes me think that the good guy recruits, Team Rainbow, have been eliminated. And I think what will happen now is that Demus is going to infiltrate Team Rainbow with his bad guy recruits that will actually be part of his Cares Legion, and then he will dismantle Team Rainbow from within. Now, obviously, we have this bad guy. He was introduced last year. He took out Harry, and then this year he was captured. I assume he's going to be around for many, many more years, and I don't think that him getting captured is the end of his story. I think by the next 6 Invitational and the next CGI, he's going to bust out and actually take down Team Rainbow entirely, with potentially year 10 starting with Team Rainbow on the run and DMS actually in control of the organization with his infiltration of these bad guy recruits and his own teams. And I think we could see basically the entire destruction of Team Rainbow for year 10. And I've even got another video on a theory about what's going to happen with Blackbeard, because I actually think they're going to kill him with the remaster of that character, and I think it's hinted at that that might well happen, but that's a separate video. Now, when I did hear that Demus was getting added into the game for Season 1 of Year 9, I actually assumed it was going to be the bad guy year, that every season there would be a bad guy from the Cares Legion getting added in to kind of back up Demus, and it would just be the evil year for Siege. Now, of course, a lot of people did not think they would even add Demus in as a bad guy into Siege. They thought that would be against the ideals of the original game and stuff like that, but of course they've ended up doing it. Now, when the actual roadmap was revealed, and we had recruit rework, and then we had a Grease character, and then an actual rework of an already existing character, I was like, oh well, they're probably not the evil year then. They're probably going to have some good guy recruits, maybe a new Greek operator from Rainbow, and then of course redo another operator from Rainbow. But I actually think that it's going to be a full evil year, and that at the end of it all, someone actually dies. Which, if that was the case, it'd be a hell of an interesting year. So let's actually jump into the new recruits and what they're going to be like. So first of all, I can tell you this, they're going to be relatively simple to play, because these are characters that will be automatically unlocked as soon as you buy the game, and you will have them right off the bat. So their character abilities have to be relatively simple. They can't be a very complex operator to jump in and play with. They have to be something really nice and simple that a real new player could play. Maybe some sort of support role, and it could be as simple as putting down an ammo box or a gadget box or something like that. It could be as simple as that, I think. But also, it could be a little more interesting and complicated, but just not complicated to play. Now, I do believe, unfortunately, that our weapons will not be new weapons, as they did mention that the Greek operator in Season 3 will be getting a new weapon, And of course, they're not mentioning that from the other seasons, so I assume the other ones don't have new weapons. However, I would love the recruits to just have a 3D weapon skin that makes one of our normal guns look like the Night Haven guns that we see in the actual past 2 cinematics that have come out. And that would be a nice way to tie them in. You don't have to make a new gun, it's just a new 3D model. So the recoil and all that can just stay exactly the same as a previous weapon. And I think that would be nice to see. But I don't know if they'll go that far. And then, of course, the new operators are going to have cosmetics. So you're going to be able to buy recruit cosmetics. Presumably, they'll also appear in the battle pass and stuff like that. And I'm not against having customizable recruits. It also means that your loadout and stuff can be customized too. So that's just going to be excellent and a big upgrade for the recruits. It also means we're getting 2 new operators, which is great for one season. And even if that's, just reminiscent of the old days, it's still very nice to have that. Now, I did mention that I think the whole year is going to be an evil year with evil operators, and then one of our actual Team Rainbow operators getting killed. But why would the Greek operator end up being an evil operator? Because that could easily be a Team Rainbow operator, right? Well, it's the naming. So we have Deimos and we have the Cares Legion. These are both Greek. However, Deimos is American. There's no connection between him and Greece. So my thinking is, he's not the big bad guy. There's actually someone else who is in charge and is from Greece and is the one who's suggested the names for the Cares Legion, which is Deimos' squad, and of course for Deimos himself, which in Greek mythology is the personification, almost didn't get there, of fear itself. And then the Cares, they are actually female death spirits that are unable to actually kill anyone, which so far matches up with everything we've seen of them in every cinematic, every comic. All the Cares Legion get their asses kicked by Team Rainbow. They haven't managed to do any damage so far. So that actually matches up perfectly with the mythology. And they also feast on the dead that have died in like horrible combats and battles and stuff like that. And that could mean that the recruits end up being female, but my thinking here is they're going to be completely masked up. They're not going to have any bios or anything. And they'll be kind of generic, so they could be anything under the masks. Now, of course, there is one potential thorn in the side of this, and that is they did show artwork for the new recruits at the roadmap reveal, and it was the mobile recruit artwork. Now, that could mean they're just going to bring over their mobile recruits into the main game, which could well be the case. Why not just reuse assets and save money? But I do think that's probably a red herring. I think that was deliberately put in there to make us not think there's going to be bad guys in Season 2. But my thinking is that all the pieces are really starting to come together right now. We have the Easter egg that says that it all begins with recruits. If they were just good old rainbow recruits, then everything would be fine. So I'm assuming we're going to have bad guy recruits. And then, of course, we have everything being tied to Greek mythology for the main bad guy, who's American. And I think that the fact we got a Greek operator in Season 3 means we could end up seeing the big bad guy actually get introduced then. But hey, that's just a theory, a game theory. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time.